The night Nashville stopped breathing began like any other. Music, glitter, and the illusion that fame could cover secrets. But that illusion shattered the moment Maggie Baugh, the young voice every label was fighting to sign, whispered a truth too heavy for the stage lights to hold. With trembling hands and mascara-streaked cheeks, she said a name no one expected, Keith Urban, the country icon. The husband of Nicole Kidman. The man whose songs about love now sound like confessions from a guilty heart. She didn't post a selfie or tease a lyric. She dropped a revelation so loud it cracked the calm of Music City. And when the internet caught the echo, it didn't stop. Screens lit up like wildfire. Hashtags spread like sirens. And fans realized they weren't watching gossip. They were witnessing the downfall of a legend. It all started months earlier, quietly, like a rumor humming beneath guitar strings. Maggie, the breakout star with a voice that could melt steel, had been introduced to Keith through a label connection. At first, it looked like mentorship. Late nights in the studio, notes on production, a veteran guiding a rising talent. But then came the looks. The laughs that lasted too long. The matching hoodies. The subtle hand touches caught in backstage photos. Fans thought it was harmless chemistry until that one award night. The CMA performance, when Nicole stood in the audience, smiling just enough to hide the storm behind her eyes. The way Maggie and Keith sang together didn't feel rehearsed. It felt remembered. And that was the moment people started to whisper, "Something's going on." By early spring, Maggie's confidence began to crack. Those who worked with her said she seemed distracted, checking her phone too often, leaving rehearsals mid-song. Then one night she went live. No filter, no makeup, just truth and tears. "I'm done protecting people who lied to me," she said, her voice breaking. She never named names, but the clues were painted in neon. He said he'd always be there. He said I wasn't just a project. Within hours, fans pieced it together. The initials. The timeline. The merch hoodie in her last photo. The internet didn't even need confirmation. Our Keith baby was born, and Nashville was never the same again. Then came the leak. A document posted on a faceless Reddit thread, titled, "Secrets They Don't Want You to Know." The names were blurred, but the initials weren't, KU and MB, and right beside them, the number 99.3%. The alleged DNA result. Screenshots spread faster than wildfire, shared by gossip accounts, country fan pages, and even news outlets pretending it was just speculation. The evidence looked real enough to silence even the skeptics. Some swore it was fake, a publicity stunt. But when Maggie's PR team refused to deny it, saying only, "She's focusing on her health and her truth," the phrase, "her truth," became the spark that ignited an inferno. Meanwhile, Keith tried to hide behind serenity. He posted a photo of himself on his ranch, strumming his guitar under an open sky, captioned, "Peace over noise." But peace doesn't survive in a storm this loud. Fans flooded his comments with anger, heartbreak, disbelief. "Peace is easy when the truth belongs to someone else's pain," one wrote. Others simply posted clown emojis, or worse, screenshots of Maggie crying. And through it all, Nicole said nothing. She didn't need to. Her silence spoke louder than words. Paparazzi photos showed her walking through Beverly Hills, ringless, eyes red behind oversized sunglasses. The tabloids didn't hold back. Nicole breaks down as Keith faces DNA bombshell. For years, she'd been Hollywood's portrait of grace. Now, that grace looked shattered. But if fans thought the worst was over, they were wrong. Because Keith finally broke his silence and made everything worse. One quiet Sunday, he went live, face drawn, voice shaking. "I've been in this business long enough to know rumors come and go," he began. "But this one's gone too far." The pause between his words was heavy enough to choke on. Then came the line that flipped everything. "There's a lot of love, a lot of mistakes, and a lot of lessons in life. Sometimes lines get blurred." He didn't deny it. He didn't even try. And in that hesitation, the internet found its confession. Comment sections erupted. "So you're admitting it? Nicole deserves better." Lines don't blur themselves, Keith. When he abruptly ended the stream mid-sentence, millions of viewers froze their screens to read his expression frame by frame, like detectives at an emotional crime scene. And hours later, a clipped audio surfaced. Keith's voice cracking as he whispered, "I never meant for anyone to get hurt." That was all the world needed to hear. Maggie vanished for a while after that. Her page went dark, no posts, no stories. But then people noticed one small change. Her bio now read, "The truth doesn't need approval." That one sentence was enough to shake Nashville's skyline. Was she confirming it? Or taunting him? And just when the gossip reached fever pitch, an audio leak hit Twitter, a voice note of Maggie sobbing to a friend saying, "He promised he'd stand by me. He told me I wasn't alone." Then came another clip, a raspy male voice saying, "You know I can't fix this if you go public." The voice sounded eerily like Keith. Some said it was AI. Others swore it was real. But by then, perception had already replaced proof. Then came Nicole's silent strike. She posted a black and white photo of a shattered glass heart. No caption, no words, just pain. Within an hour, the post had over 1 million likes and tens of thousands of comments like, "Stay strong, Queen," and "You don't need him." The message was clear. Hollywood's golden couple had cracked beyond repair. And as if the universe wanted to confirm it, TMZ dropped what it called verified hospital records. A DNA test conducted at a Tennessee clinic listing M. Baugh as mother and K. Urban as father. 99.3% probability. The internet lost its collective mind. Headlines screamed betrayal. Podcasts called it the biggest scandal in modern country history. Fans crashed ticket sites for Keith's upcoming tour, not to buy seats, but to flood comment sections with, "We're not paying for heartbreak." But the question lingered. Who leaked it? Some swore it was an inside nurse, bribed by a blogger. Others whispered it was Maggie's own team, striking back after being ghosted. And a few said Nicole orchestrated it all, her quiet revenge disguised as exposure. Whatever the truth, the damage was irreversible. Keith's lawyers went on the offensive, threatening lawsuits, issuing takedown notices. But Maggie didn't budge. Rumor had it she filed legal paperwork seeking acknowledgement of paternity. Not money, not fame, just truth. That single act turned her from an accused homewrecker into a woman demanding accountability. Behind the scenes, Nicole's team was drafting a quiet exit strategy, a separation framed as graceful and private. After years of standing beside him through rehab and recovery, this time, the heartbreak felt final. The same tabloids that once praised their love story now printed side-by-side photos captioned, "Trust before and after." And through it all, Maggie became the lightning rod of the industry. Half the world saw her as brave. The other half called her reckless. But even her critics couldn't deny one thing. She had changed the conversation about power and truth in country music forever. Truth in country music forever. Then came the live stream that ended the whispers. Maggie appeared on camera again, eyes swollen but fierce. A soft light glowed behind her, and beside her on the table lay an ultrasound photo. Her caption read, "My truth." She didn't shout or curse. She simply said, "I begged for this to stay private, but lies have a way of spreading faster than honesty. I didn't destroy anyone's family. I just stopped letting mine be hidden." Every word cut deeper than the last. "He told me he'd stand by me," she said. "But when I said I was pregnant, he disappeared. This isn't a scandal. This is a heartbeat." The chat exploded with tears, rage, support. Screens across the world glowed with the same realization. This wasn't a performance. This was survival. Within 24 hours, Keith released a statement that sounded like surrender. "I made mistakes I deeply regret. I let emotion lead where integrity should have guided me. I take full responsibility and will handle this privately for everyone involved." No denial. No excuses. Just enough admission to make every headline feel like truth. It was over. The memes stopped being funny. The jokes felt cruel. Because now it wasn't about gossip, it was about consequences. Days later, Nicole Kidman stepped into the spotlight again at a charity gala in New York. Cameras flashed as she smiled, poised as ever, but the exhaustion in her eyes betrayed everything. When asked how she was holding up, she simply replied, "Grace is the only thing I have left." That line became an instant headline, a mantra for heartbreak dressed in elegance. Insiders whispered she'd already moved out of their Nashville home, taking her daughters to Los Angeles. The fairy tale had ended, quietly and painfully. As for Maggie, her career exploded overnight. Her streams doubled. Her name trended for weeks, but she turned down every talk show, every endorsement, every spotlight. Instead, she tweeted, "I didn't do this for fame. I did it for freedom." A haunting acoustic song appeared on her page days later titled, "Truth Hurts Twice." Its lyrics read like a goodbye letter. "He said he'd stay till the end. But love don't live in shadows, friend." The internet called it her masterpiece, the moment she turned pain into poetry. Keith, meanwhile, checked himself into a private retreat in Montana, not for drugs this time, but for emotional recovery. Paparazzi photos showed him thinner, quieter, broken. Rumors claimed he'd tried reaching out to Maggie, but she wasn't ready. Maybe she never would be. And Nicole? She was seen dining with Reese Witherspoon, laughing again for the first time in months. Her glow is back, a friend said. She's done crying. By now, the world had stopped seeing villains and victims. They saw humans, messy and flawed. Commentators called it a cultural reckoning. The headlines shifted from infidelity to accountability. People stopped asking who lied and started asking why so many believed they had to. Maggie wasn't a scandal anymore. She was a symbol, a reminder that in an industry built on image, honesty still has the power to burn everything down. And then, just when everyone thought it was over, a single photo brought the story full circle. TMZ cameras caught Keith arriving quietly at a Tennessee hospital, holding a small pink gift bag. The same morning, Maggie was rumored to have gone into labor. He said nothing to reporters, just whispered something under his breath and drove away. Days later, Maggie posted a black and white photo, her hand holding that of a newborn baby, captioned only with a heart emoji. In the comments, one anonymous account appeared. "I'll always be here." Signed simply, K, and that was the quiet end to a storm that had swallowed an entire city. Maggie found her truth, Nicole found her closure, and Keith found a lesson no stage could ever teach: that fame can sell songs, but it can't silence reality. Because no matter how loud the applause gets, the truth always finds the mic.